guys, today is the day. We are going to work on something we haven't worked on. Today is a modeling day. We're going to work on something brand new that I'm trying out, and we're going to get to it. You guys have been seeing me boast about it for since the beginning, like last month or whatever. But we're going to be working on these guys. We're going to be stripping this paint off of them. Look how thick that paint is on them. Look how thick all this. This is just a test to try to see what paint strippers I'm going to probably be working with when I try to take paint off of other models that I have, and see which one's not going to actually damage the product. And I feel like these guys right here are made out of the same stuff Gundam models are made out of. So plastic, I think. So there could be different types of plastic. I'm not 100%. If you are better at doing this, let me know in the comments down below. Get some interaction. Help a newbie out, I guess. I'll try to take your information in and roll with it, try to learn from it, but I feel like, so a little insight, you can tell me, but I'm really not gonna catch, I'm a make mistakes, learn from the mistakes kind of guy. It's very hard for me to actually take other people, not hard for me to take I take other people's advice. I don't see it, because what will end up happening is you'll give me the advice and I'll try to follow through on the advice and I'll still mess up anyway. So that's a little insight to me. I end up messing up anyway. So the best way is just to strip it and go from there. Learn from your mistakes, right? So that's why we got these cheap ne'er-do-well commando dudes from Dollar General. I'm gonna try to pick up the other 2 or 3. I don't know. We'll see where that ends up. If I mess up the plastic on theirs, I shouldn't mess up the plastic. I'm not 100% sure, because I don't know what strip chemicals and all that stuff, and I haven't done research into it. I just kind of picked this up, but I picked up this one, which is a Stripper Premium Stripper, fast, thick, brushable formula, clings to surfaces. So we're gonna start with brushing it on. If it doesn't work with brush on, it says it works in 15 minutes. So we'll see in 15 minutes if it the paint starts coming off and all that. So careful, read all the directions, notes and cautions prior to use. Only use this product as directed on the label. Do not use any other purpose. Do not mix with any other products. To avoid spills, always keep container tightly capped. Open slowly to release pressure. Protect hands with solvent-resistant gloves, and eyes with chemical splashes. So we're going to obviously have to get a hold of some gloves that are solvent-resistant. I hope the gloves I have in there are solvent-resistant. If not, I'm probably going to have to get some, and we'll see from there. But use as directed. So we got this kind of stripper right here, and then we're gonna use that stripper with this guy. So the red guy, the bandana dude, is going to get the actual harsh chemical stripper. I would consider this harsh because I got it in container and chemical stuff. But then I also have Citristrip. So we're gonna try this out. I saw a couple of videos where they use something like this. It says remove dried latex and oiled base. Strips multiple layers, no harsh fumes. So we'll see how they both go. If they strip pretty good, then this one's probably going to be, if they both do the same, I'm probably going to go with this one, because this one requires me to use gloves and protect, you gotta use them in a well ventilated area. Be aware, guys, do what these things say on the back. Read every inch of it. You want to read every inch of it. I'm a professional idiot, so I didn't read every inch, but I'm kind of not dumb. So please use this in a well ventilated area. If you start getting fumy or dizzy or whatever, walk away. Walk away from the project. Go somewhere where there's some nice air and all that stuff. Please be careful when using chemicals. I say that again. Please be careful using chemicals. Please do not use chemicals if you are under the age of 18. So if you're going to use chemicals, please use them at the age of 18. And if you're at 18, get somebody with some prior experience to help you use those chemicals, or at least read the chemicals. Read every inch. I say again, read every inch so you know what you're dealing with and how to use them and all that stuff. So I will also be reading most of this while off camera and stuff, so to make sure I am not messing up. Oh, well, look, I say not wear gloves on this one. What's the first step? Put gloves on. So read, guys. You have to read these. If you do not read these, you're going to cause harm to yourself and probably others. So please read every inch and make sure that you are reading every inch and you're doing what it says, taking the proper precautions. These are chemicals. They will hurt you. They will hurt your eyes. And make sure you clean your hands afterwards. Don't just think you can take your gloves off and go do whatever. You're gonna end up getting yourself sick and have to call the number on the back. So they do come with numbers on the back. Right here, see that number? Read that number. Make sure you have that number on speed dial or saved. It also, if swallowed, do not swallow, do not ingest, do not take into your body, or you will end up messed up. I'm gonna go ahead and get most of this set up, get stuff going, make sure we have everything, and get a couple containers for these to pour into and work on getting them stripped out. When we come back, we'll dismantle these guys. So just a little notes. Please, if you do not know how to use the chemicals, please do not use them. That's all I can stress. I am stressifying. I am working to try to better myself with stuff like this and learn. So please do the same and read. And if you are going to learn about them, you might want to ask somebody that knows about strippers, chemicals, and stuff like that before using prior to. I really, and why I'm stressing this enough is I just don't want to see anybody get hurt because of me and all that stuff. So just a disclaimer and all that stuff, to make sure stuff doesn't happen like that. So please, I cannot stress enough, please be careful when using chemicals. That's all I ask. Alrighty guys, we are back. We're gonna get these guys dismantled. Reason why is I'm gonna take most of the screws out because of rust, and I don't know how the chemicals are going to react with the screws, so we're going to make sure that we get these guys dismantled and there's no metal when we take them apart. Technically I should probably just go ahead and let's say, brush it on with them like this, but I'm gonna go ahead and take them apart to make sure that everything's good to go, because you never know. I might have to dip these into the solvents and let them sit in a container with the solvents. So we're gonna go ahead and do that to make sure we aren't making too big of a mess with the solvents and whatnot. I gotta figure out. Alrighty guys, we are back. I did a little part beforehand. I thought I was going to take these apart, but I figured why take them apart when I can try to get these paint stripped all together, right? So that's what we're going to try. This is all about trial and error and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is going to brush this on. Oh guys, look. You can't see already. Hopefully you can see. Let's get it up towards the camera area, but you can see already this paint stripper already doing some work on it. So we're gonna brush this guy down, all that stuff, so we can get him brushed down and get some of this paint stripped off, right? It's already stripping. You guys can see it from there that it's stripping the paint already. So let's work on the back. Let's get some of this going. Strip some of this thick paint off of there. Most of it's coming out black. Next one is going to be happening is going to be painting. We're going to try some painting on this guy, try to get him all painted up. So yeah, we'll try that next. I don't know if I should put some water. It seems like I need some water to clean this brush. So we're going to do a quick pause here, and I'm going to try to go get some water. Alrighty guys, we are back. Sorry for the cut. Want to get some water. The water is not working too much. So the stripper's working. It's stripping paint, but I'm getting paint everywhere. So I don't know if the water, I need to use water to get like most of this off or what, but we're gonna go ahead and try to strip him down to the best we can. You can already see he's changing. He isn't what he once was. So maybe that's just, we did get the paint off. That's probably what we did. We did get the paint off. So right now we have the paint getting off, because what it seems to be, guys, sorry for the shortcut. I'm probably gonna have to do a little quick voiceover. The kid walked in, but we're back to it. All I'm doing right now is like brushing off majority of this paint that's just thicked on here. So like I dipped him in water. I'm trying other things. The water, let me pull the water over here. As you can see, I don't know if I'm really need to be using water, because as you can see, I don't know. I think that's the paint that's coming off of it and coming to the top and clumping out or something. But yeah, so I'm trying to get every little cranny I can. The solvent, or the paint, or the solvent itself here doesn't really wash off. So like I don't know if paint is like the best option. So yeah, I got a hole in the glove here, so we're gonna switch gloves. End up pulling a hole through here, so I'm gonna clean up the mess a little bit here. I'm gonna leave the recording going to make sure that we're not missing anything. But yeah, this is gonna end up on a blooper, so. So what not to do when stripping with paint, right? So let me go wash my hands, and then I should be back. Alrighty guys, we are back to it. Sorry for the short inconvenience. Got a hole in the glove, so making sure nothing's gonna get me, you know, because that's what it says. Make sure you wear gloves, and if there's a hole in the glove, that completely defeats the purpose. Sorry, the kids are yelling. I'll make a quick cut here so you guys don't have to hear that. But yeah, they don't know how to control themselves sometimes. But yeah, so we got it stripped out here. So I don't know how to clean the solvent off here, but you can tell we've got him mostly stripped, so most of the paint is off. So you can see he was mostly primed green and primed black, so the plastic is green and black. So we have all that going on. So let's dip him in some water for a little bit. Maybe that's the answer. I'm gonna put him in this water for a little bit. Let's grab a paper towel. Paper towels. Make sure the area is well paper toweled up, so I'm not dripping too much everywhere. And kind of clean off the gloves here. Make sure you don't have any holes in your gloves while doing this, because that completely defeats the purpose if you're just putting holes in your gloves. Alrighty. Paint on that. So let's do this brush. Let's dip this brush. Try to get that brush out. We're gonna clean up the bowl here. This is the paper towels. I don't think this is a proper way to take care of a stripper. So alrighty. Got that. This handy dandy trash bag. So I got trash bags, all kinds of stuff, just in case, and all that stuff. Let's see. So that's that. You got this leftover bit of stripper from him. We're gonna throw him. We let him sit in the water a little bit. We're gonna throw him in here, and what I'm gonna do is get some more paper towels, and we're gonna clean him off. We're gonna clean the stuff off of him. So make sure he's all nice and clean with the paint. So I'm figuring the best way to do this, instead of using water, is what we do is use paper towels. We'll do that. So instead of using this water here, so let me go dispose of this water, and you guys can chill out until then. I'll do a cut. So we have a little bit on the side here. It needs to be cleaned up. We missed a spot here. So we'll just come in, do a little touch-ups to make sure we're getting everything. Make sure you get in everything. All the black is off. All the under areas are off. So do a little dabby dab. Dab and white, right? That's the way we're gonna roll with it, dab and white. So he's looking a lot better with the paint off of him. So we'll sit here, make sure that he's stripped out good. I'm not seeing any other areas for his thing. So we're good in that aspect. So what I am discovering is probably we should dismantle these guys. I mean, the paint stripper did wonders, right? For just putting him together and getting in there. But the problem is he's got some stuff on the inside. But with the stripper, we would do a lot better cleaning and getting him clean if we could get in here and get the rest of the area. So what we're gonna go do, we're gonna dismantle him, make sure he's apart, make sure we got it inside. There's an arm, and there he goes. So you look at all that in the inside right there. Gotta get this stuff cleaned out, make sure he's all nice and dried. Nothing's left over afterwards. Alrighty. We are looking awesome with all this stripped out. For first time stripping paint off of a model, it's not turning out too bad. So just learning experience on how I'm going to strip my models in the future. You guys get a little insight. I might get better at it over time. So like with the orange, so we did this harsh one first and stripped the majority of it off with the harsh, right? So we know this stripper is excellent for use. But in the future, we are going to do, we might end up doing different things, but as of right now, once my recording and model desk and all that stuff gets set up really nice, and once I'm able to get the funds to work on that, we'll start on that little project, and then we'll get a hold of a really nice setup. And once I get that set up, I'll probably end up remaking this video, so we'll get a redo. So if you are watching this in the future, and this video is like a year or two old, go back and look at my other videos now and see if I have a different setup going on, and I'll probably have redone this video. And if not, leave a comment in that video stating, hey, you haven't done a resetup of how you strip your figures, so I would like to see you strip your figures again, and we'll work on that. So we'll work on getting those figures, or another video on how I strip my figures now, or well, this is then, and then I'll do one now. So I'll try to keep that up to date on how I paint or strip figures and whatnot. Because this, eventually when I do get good or better at, when I get better at modeling figures, I'll do how-tos and expert kind of videos on things and matters and stuff like that. As of right now, I currently am a beginner myself, so there's no point in me trying to do a bunch of videos. But as you can see, look how well it's stripped. I wish I had another one of these so I could show you the difference, but you can see majority of that black paint came off. So each individual section looks like it's just made out of a different colored plastic. So the extremities, so like the head and the arms and the legs, are green, and the body itself is black. So we'll go ahead and start working on him drying out. So we'll leave him to dry out in this dish here that I have the stripper in, and we'll work on that. He'll dry out, and then I'm gonna cut the video here, and we're gonna come back with the orange stripper, and we're gonna work on stripping this fella right here. So we'll get him all stripped out, and we'll do him. Alrighty, see you in a minute. Alrighty guys, we are back with the orange Citristrip. You can see it in here. I'm going to go through a different method. Instead of using 2 bowls to try to get it going, I'm going to go ahead and just put him in with here, and we're going to strip him down. So we're going to just go ahead and start painting him out and getting him all coated and stripper. And once we get him all coated with stripper, we should start seeing him start come apart with the paint. So, and you can already see he had black eye or dots in his eyes, and they're completely gone. So as it looks like, it doesn't take too long for this stripper to start taking effect. So doesn't really take long at all. Like, as the thing says, 15 minutes, right? So I have a mask on. I had a mask on the last one. It was really strong with chemicals. This one's not so much, but you can still smell it. So what we're doing is just going ahead and gonna wear a mask, just for the fact of to have a mask on while doing this. So just safety precautions. Always have your safety precautions. Used to be in the Army, he used to tell us to wear our PPE and PPI and all that stuff to have safety and stuff, and they weren't wrong. It just was annoying. Yeah, the legs, you can tell is if you guys can't tell, I'm sorry, but you can tell on the legs, the black, it's been thicked on there, but you can tell it comes off. So you just gotta keep brushing away. Keep brushing away. So as you can see, we are brushing away, brushing away. We got him coated. So I bet you if we just left him overnight, he would easily strip himself. So, right? So we wouldn't have to worry about it. We're going to take him apart as well. So what's going to happen is we're going to eventually take him apart. Got a little runaway screw here from the last guy. We're going to go ahead and get him coated really well. And we're going to try to brush most of this off. I'm going to get a towel here. And so we can clean the brush here because the brush is getting a little dry or grimy. So we're gonna go ahead and clean the brush out. Make sure he is getting cleaned. So right now he is going through. It's very hard to tell if you're you can tell you're stripping stuff, but it's hard to see if you're actually getting all of it because he's obviously coated in the orange. So I didn't use, you saw at the beginning, I didn't have as a lot of strippers, so it doesn't take a lot to strip off the paint off of these. What the real question is it, if I left, so it's like, I've seen some people leave them in like, what you call it, jars or something to clean them off or whatever. So I wonder what would happen if I left these in a jar of stripper all night, and would it harm the plastic? I think this is my best option because with this I am basically getting the stripper off immediately after I strip the paint, so I'm not wasting too much time in the solvent or whatever I'm using to get into the, what you call it, the plastic, to start eating away at it. So I think your best option is to try not to leave these in overnight and just try to kind of wipe them off. So what's going to happen is, so I'm getting these relatively stripped down and cleaned off. So what's going to happen is I'm most likely going to just leave the figures sitting overnight because today is Saturday. And what we're going to do is going to leave these sitting, which I'm not too upset about because I pretty much got the paint already off of one. So that's like way before ahead of schedule. I thought I was going to have to leave these in a container overnight or something overnight and have to wait to see. But these two strippers did wonders on the figures. And you couldn't ask for a better strip pull on them. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and wipe most of the stripper off of him, and we're gonna take a look at him here in a second because I can already see, look, we didn't get most of the strip off of him because the silver's still on there and he's still got some of his eyes and stuff like that, but the stripper on the boots is gone. So we did a positive there. So it looks to be the best option for this is going to be just keep brushing the stripper off of them. So let me grab another towel. See, this is what happens when you don't use the right type of gloves. It starts eating away at them and you end up piercing. So I have two sets of gloves on. So just for that fact of the matter, I saw on the first set, it started eating through. So we're gonna go ahead and switch out the gloves to make sure. And next time I'm gonna try to get a hold of some resistant gloves that doesn't go with all that stuff. Alrighty, so we are back. Let's get some more orange stripper on him to try to get Not too much, just enough. There you go, just enough. There we go, that's good. Alright. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint him this time, and what's gonna happen is I'm gonna paint him up I'm gonna strip him up and coat him. Once I get him coated here, I am going to leave him sitting for a minute or two. So he's all nice and coated, and his crevices are covered, and you can have a time to soak and let that stripper actually do some work. Because we just painted him last time, which didn't get him on the first set, so we're going to get him on the second one. Make sure you get him all nice and coated. Try to get the areas over here around the boots all nice and coated, and yeah, it doesn't take too long, it seems, to get the paint off of here. But what I was going to say is, over here with him dismantled and whatnot, I'm going to work on him. Now that we have him apart, what's going to happen is we're going to paint him apart instead of trying to paint him together, so we can take our time and individual legs and stuff like that, and which is going to be pretty cool. I'm not like I've never actually taken painting serious. I've painted you know, in school and stuff like that, but I've never actually tried to like paint out figures or do Warhammer, you know. And those people do really well with their painting, and I wasn't going to buy a bunch of Warhammer figures to try to attempt to get good at painting, right? When I can buy cheap commando figures like this, or Dollar Tree figures, or even what was it, the Action Force that's out for Dollar Tree. Those are apparently really good for painting, so I'm going to try to get a hold of some of those and actually collect some of those. So I'm going to try to collect as many as I possibly can, and get those going. So this orange citrus doesn't hit as hard, but it might be the method in which I am removing, or the method in which I used, because I used a little bit of water last time, or the other one, to try to get some of this paint off. Let me get a towel here before it starts burning through my gloves. Try to get some of this stripper off here. Got some on the thing here. What it says in on the back of the thing with the stripper is to try to let this air dry. So they kind of just want it to air dry. They say is the best method to try to get the stuff air dried out. I don't think this stuff is going to be very good for the plastic, so we'll have to see. So I'm assuming if this guy over here turns out pretty well with the plastic and not being all eaten up by the chemicals or whatever, I'm pretty sure that that's the way to go, is to paint your, or not paint, but coat your figures in stripper and then wipe away. So And then get a towel, disposable towels, and just kind of wipe your figures as you go, you know. Apply a little stripper, strip them. But it didn't take much to actually strip these, so it's not hard to just keep reapplying coats. So like, it doesn't take much to coat. As you can see, I just poured a little bit on him and just kind of just dab away, and he gets pretty coated really fast. But then the paste is turning to like a brownish, which means it's pulling off a lot of excess paint and stuff. So we'll see here. We'll see how he turns out. What's really not wanting to strip is this the belt here. So like right in here, these tough crevices. Did he have these tough crevices? But we gotta try to get it off. I need like a rougher brush. That's what I need for this. That's what probably end up having to happen, is get a rougher brush, because I don't think this is a pretty rough brush, but it's just not rough enough, you know, to actually like scrub the figure down. This seems like the way to go, is to try to scrub the figure down with something harder than just the brush itself, because like this silver paint's not wanting to budge. We got his eyes, we got all that, but the silver on the vest is just not wanting to come off. So we'll have to see if that stripper I used beforehand stripped out or damaged the plastic. If that's the case, I'm hoping this orange doesn't damage the plastic. And then you have two different types. You have one that's really beholden to the plastic, and then one that's not. So let's, before I strip my gloves away, because they're already evaporating on me, let's clean up the mess a little bit. Get most of the stripper off. These bowls were supposed to be used for painting, so as you guys can see, it's not being used for painting, it's being used for stripping right now. But yeah, I was gonna kind of use it as a palette to strip strip that from there. So going through quite a little bit of supplies here, as you can tell. So let's knock most of that off, and then throw him back in this container bowl over here. Throw this away, and I shall be back. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Got a little bit of stripper on my hands, trying to, because the gloves started deteriorating, and make sure my hands are clean and all that stuff. And then I'll come back and I'll go try to find a stronger brush to scrub him down with, to hopefully try to get that stripper off. So we'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, we are back. Sorry for the quick cut. So we're gonna go ahead and get a little stripper on the side here. I think what my problem is with the last little bit, I had it in a different container, so I was picking from a different source Probably not, we'll see. So I'm gonna try to keep it all relative, like, so I'll keep the, what you call it, away from the paint from mixing. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. And I also have this brush here. I'm gonna try. That's a little rougher. Hopefully we can get some of this paint going off of it. Or we'll see if it eats eats the sponge. So this is supposed to be more of a paint, or yeah, so we'll see. I don't think it's going to work, because it is eating the sponge. That's the problem. You gotta know what chemicals you're working with, or it's gonna eat your materials up, which is okay because we have extra sponges, and I got this at like Dollar Tree or something, so we're not too worried. We are really trying to get the paint off with this orange stuff, so we are looking at, I'm probably gonna toss that brush afterwards because it's gonna hold a lot of that stripper. I think I'm gonna apply a coat to this and just let it sit and chill for a while it just strips away majority of the paint, because that's where we're running into problems, is it's just not eating into the caked on. It says 5 layers. You figure it do exactly the same shit, or the same stuff the last stripper did, and just be able to eat away at it. But apparently it's just taking its sweet old time. So we'll go ahead and chill out. You're gonna see me in the background moving because I'm gonna chill out here, and we're gonna get the paint to set, or not to set, but the stripper to set on the paint, and we're gonna see where that takes us. So just chill out. We're gonna have I'm gonna switch this into a time lapse so you guys can just chill and watch it eat away at the paint, and then we'll come back to it. So hopefully we can just sit here and watch. It won't take as long as a time, but maybe a little bit longer. And we'll chill and you can watch the paint strip. Alrighty, quick pause, and then it's gonna go into the time lapse. Alrighty guys, we're back, and it looks like majority of it has kind of came away from it, so letting it sit for a while was probably the best option. What we're gonna do, pull the brush out, give it a quick wipe down, get it a quick cleaning, make sure it's dry out, all that stuff. Shouldn't have really left it sitting in the bowl. It's okay. So what we're gonna do, go grab some gloves, and then we'll be back. Alrighty guys, we are back. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna pull them out. and get him all dried off and cleaned, so he's all pristined out. Hopefully he's looking good. We're gonna take him into the other area and give him a wash, so next time you see him come back out, he'll be a little washed and cleaned. Hopefully. Man, it just didn't come off. So I guess he's going back in. The silver, man, that silver is just fighting away, man. It's just not wanting to rip off there. So we're gonna get him. Sorry for the long pause, guys. I'm gonna fast forward through that little bit right there. But yeah, there's like no. So we're gonna do a comparison after this. I'm gonna give him a quick wash and some soap and water to kind of get him cleaned up. And then we're gonna do a comparison number 2. I'm gonna dismantle him out, and we'll do a comparison of the 2 figures to see which stripper did the best. And you guys can kind of tell which one did the best. And I scrubbed on that one. But we're gonna do a quick comparison, and that's gonna conclude probably this video for today, after I get everything all out, cleaned out, good to go, stripped out, and put the stripper so it doesn't eat into any of my stuff. Make sure the area is clean and these bowls are clean. Get these bowls washed up. Make sure nothing's too crazy, and then we'll get another ending of the video and get a comparison of the strippers to see which one we like the best, and I'm probably going to use in the future. And then, but it could change over time, so I'll do an update after that fact to let you guys know which strippers I choose. But let me get him washed up, and then I'll get him dismantled, or we'll dismantle him, and then we'll get him all comparison going on, which stripper did the best on the paint. Alright, be back in a sec. Alrighty guys, we are back. We're gonna get him dismantled real fast, so you're gonna get to see me dismantle him as well. So I did the other one, I'm gonna do this one after the fact. So what's so funny is I changed my mind on dismantling them when I ended up dismantling them anyway, so that's pretty funny, I think. Most of that's dried out, so I can lay that right there, I guess. That's really what I need to get. I need to get some toothpicks and get in those crevices. Yep, but he's pretty much dismantled. Let's open them up. There we go. Got some stripper going on in here. Let's throw them in some of this vinegar. Pull some vinegar out. What we're going to do is throw them in here. Hopefully this vinegar will eat at the stripper, so we're stuck with a bunch of stripper vinegar slash whatever. So let me go grab some gloves before I start handling this, because it's still got stripper on it. And get to it so I don't end up doing something harsh. That's one thing about messing with this stuff. You gotta be careful, because you never know when you end up getting a little bit somewhere, and that little bit can probably cause some real serious damage on some things. So you gotta be careful. Wash. Always use soap to clean up your areas. Don't leave an area unattended. Stuff like that. Alrighty, let's see here. Let's try to get some of this stripper off, man. It got in everywhere. Stripper's a lot harder to get off than the other one. Alright, I'm about to probably pause this, go wash the parts in this, wash the parts off so we can get back to it. And that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll be back to it. Instead of wiping most of these off, I'll just go ahead and wash it off and get to it. Alrighty, I'll be seeing you in a sec. Alrighty guys, we are back. A little TDLR. Like I said, gotta be careful. We went to wash him, and what ended up happening, maybe you can see it. There's the back, there's the front, there's his head, there's a leg, there's the other leg, and there's an arm. So what's the problem with that? Don't most people have two arms? Yes, they do, and he lost his down the drain. So we, like I said, gotta be careful with dealing with the stuff. Got a lot of gummed up stripper here. We're gonna toothpick most of this stuff out. So I'm gonna keep recording. I'm gonna try to get most of this stripper out and try to get it out so it doesn't damage too much of the plastic. I'm gonna let you guys know I am not having a good time with the second stripper. The first stripper went pretty easy, cleaned off pretty easy, all that stuff. This one is giving me trouble because it is caked on there. Should have disassembled most of this before even attempting to try to get most of this. I'm finding out that a lot of this stripper's getting stuck in between these crevices. So yeah, but here's a little fast forward moment until I can get most of this stuff stripped off. Alrighty. are back. Hopefully we're back. Hopefully I can catch the thing on it. I'll dry this out. There. But as you guys can tell, we got the two separate guys. They look relatively the same in the aspect of stripping a little bit, right? As you can see. But where the problem was is that this one didn't get some of that silver paint off, where the other one did get the silver paint off. I tried scraping some of it with a toothpick. It started coming off a little bit, but yeah. So those are them two. As you can see, this is the parts that are stripped. We're going to leave them disassembled in these bolts. And what's going to happen next is hopefully next week we can do some intro to painting. So yeah, I really like the first stripper. The first stripper stripped pretty much all the paint off, got into the crevices that I needed it to get into, and it worked better with the gloves, and didn't eat through my gloves as much. So yeah, there was a positive side to that. It still ate a little bit through the gloves, but it didn't eat as much. The orange one just completely deteriorated those gloves. So if I left it sitting on, it was just eating through it hard. So we're gonna most likely leave these like this for a week, and we're gonna come back to them and we'll see what damage is actually done to the plastic. So like right here, you can see a little bit of paint stripper on there. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it off here, but you obviously can see that there's some paint stripper left on some of these. But like I said, this one did pretty good at getting most of the paint stripper, but it's clear. The other paint, this paint stripper was clear. This one was orange. I can see orange. I didn't dip this one in vinegar. Full disclosure, I did dip this one in some vinegar because I kind of read online that vinegar and soap water helps kind of get the paint stripper off. I was trying to figure out ways to get paint stripper off of stuff, but in this one you can see his leg has some orange in there. So like I think when I put it in that vinegar, it hardened the stripper, so it kind of gave these little in the crevices of the thing things. But like here, I don't see paint stripper in the crevices, but I could be wrong. There could be some down in there. Who knows, because it's clear. But we'll see next week if damage is done with these two. So I'm going to put these up and hide them out. But this is going to probably do it for this video. We stripped two different action figures with two different types of paint. So we ended up getting this one with that, and where did I put the, oh, I already put the strippers up. But yeah, so we stripped them down and did what we could with them. So that, as you saw, as a beginner, I could probably do better with a whole setup to try to get a good basis, so I don't have to run 20 different places and try to get these wash, maybe a water area to where I can just wash them there. But yeah, we did what we could with them. I love the way this one turned out. I kind of like the one that says we did lose an arm in the process. I'm gonna have to go to the store and probably buy another set of these to try to get the arm back. But yeah, it turned out pretty well for my first time ever stripping an action figure, which is understatement, an action figure. But yeah, so it just kind of gives you practice with working with strippers and paints and stuff. So next week we're going to get into the painting process, which is going to be fun, is painting inside these and trying to figure out the right colors for skin color, and equipment, and getting paint into the areas that you need to get paint into. I don't know about, yeah, we just finished out, it's going to end it off, like I was saying, but yeah, I like the way it turned out. It was pretty good for my first time stripping an action figure of its paint. It's going to be a little bit different when we go down the road and try to strip something with more detail. So like if we have to keep areas clean. But most of the time I think what you can be doing with strip is just stripping the whole figure itself. So you're not going to really apply to areas and stuff like that. You'll just strip out the whole figure. So we're not too worried about that. If you do have to go in and change the color on something, you'll most likely just paint over it, or you'll strip the whole figure and then reprime it and then have to paint the whole figure itself. But I don't know, those are problems for the modeler, right? Try to go in and fix what he wants to fix, make what he wants to make. If stripping in a small area might work, then he'll try to do that. I don't know, but those are for more expert individuals. As of right now, we're just working on figuring out what kind of strippers we're going to use. So I'll post the two strippers in the thumbnail. I'll try to put a description in the bottom, in the descriptions on what two strippers I ended up using, and you'll be able to compare, because hopefully in the thumbnail I'll have the stripper and which figure I stripped with. So we got bandana dude and full mask dude, which is kind of sad because I like the full mask dude with him, and he ended up losing an arm. So that's not the way I wanted him to lose an arm. If he wanted to lose an arm, I wanted to do like, you know, he got injured or it got kind of blown off or something like that. But yeah, that's going to conclude today's video. We got those. I didn't expect to get this whole video done, so we're way ahead schedule. I did end up sacrificing a pack opening, or organizing cards for a pack opening, because I thought I wouldn't have been able to get this mostly stripped. But tomorrow we'll end up seeing how well the strippers, well, through the week, because these are just going to chill for a week until I can get back to them to try to start painting these. Next week I'm going to try to start painting them. I'm gonna most likely take it in steps with the paint, because I don't know exactly how I'm wanting to paint these. So like what colors I'm gonna use or whatnot. I'm probably gonna have to go buy the other two figs and use that as a reference, you know, kind of enhance the painting scheme with them, to see if I want to use the painting scheme that they used or use something completely and totally different than that. But yeah, I had fun. Next week's going to be even more fun because I'm going to get to paint, and I haven't got to test or paint in some odd years, and it'll help me increase my skill with painting. Technically, I should kind of do it off camera because it's going to take a lot of time, but I'm going to do it on camera. You guys get to see my mistakes and how crappy at painting I am, and we're going to improve. Like I said, this is from amateur to master, so, or expert at least, into doing skills with models. So, and painting is one of them, and we have to get better at painting. And in order to do that, I have to be able to make sacrifices or willing to make mistakes. And the best way to make mistakes is on stuff that you really not too invested into. And then eventually down the road, we can work on stuff that's we're invested into and then make those better. But this is going to conclude this video. I appreciate you guys. Please always leave a like, comment if you can, and subscribe. It always helps. It helps the algorithms. It helps my videos get out there to people that like the same kind of stuff that you do. So if you're into modeling kits, please like this video, because it'll send it out to more people that like modeling videos and all that stuff. And I do have other videos on the channel. I keep a daily shuffle going on between videos. Like I said, we did pack opening yesterday, and then we did comic review Saturday. So we do all kinds of views. I should be able to, I'm going to start trying to work on thumbnails, so I can pop up thumbnails in the back here, point at different videos so you can go check them out. But yeah, that's going to conclude it for today. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.